Let's talk about your turning point and get into purpose.
It was, yeah, on July 8th,
Mhm.
1995. I actually died for 3 minutes. So I spent a year on my back. We
What
didn't have
happened? This
money
lady
and
this lady
yeah,
on a motorcycle ran into you?
ran
Yeah.
into the table and I was in between the table and another table and it just basically sliced my leg, broke it. And my grandma, which would be my mom's mother, died on the same day. Then we got hailed out. Everything in the county was hailed out except for a square about 10 by 10, which was my
Eh,
son's garden.
wow.
Yeah. And it was like one thing after the other, after the other, after the other. And
Mhm.
basically everything was stripped away from me because I couldn't walk. I mean, thank God I was still alive, but it took a long time to do that. Our whole entire source of income, everything we had was basically ruined and destroyed. I lost the connection of, the people that were still living.
And you
About
were in the hospital for a lot of it, right?
Yeah, I was
Or
in the
were you?
hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a result, I didn't see anything, when I was on the other side, and my
Yeah.
doctor saw an angel above the bed, and he was an atheist. It freaked him out. He left medicine, but he said, you have a very important reason to be here and do not waste it. And that was the last conversation I had with him. And he moved back to Germany, where he's from, and changed his whole life. But after that, I started
So, hey,
really.
so
What?
let's get on that. So the doctor that saved your life was an atheist. He didn't believe in
Mhm,
God or anything, not even
mhm.
something greater than him, right? And he saw
Yeah.
an angel above your body as he was doing his thing, and it freaked him out so bad. He quit medicine and went back to do something else, right?
Yeah, he said, you shouldn't be alive. I don't know why you're alive, but obviously you have a purpose here and you have something that you need to do. And
Hmm.
so, of course, I question, and I'm like, "Tell me, what'd you see? What was it like? What
Yeah,
happened?"
right, of course.
And all he said was it took up the whole room above the ceiling. It was kind of gray, white in color. And he said, you had blood flying everywhere. You had like 7 people struggling to put you together and to get enough blood in you. And it all happened so fast. And so
Wow.
it was, I wasn't expected to live, and I'm glad that I did. But that changes a person, right? Because and then when I woke up in bed, in the hospital, I saw all these people around my bed, and they're laughing hysterically, and I was like, "What is that? This is like." I was really offended by this, and it was all the people that had deceased and passed away from my family, and I saw them there. And I was like, wow, this like I'm really hallucinating or something, right? But I saw this one guy and I'm like, who's that? And they're like, that's Dwayne. So I started asking my family, and it turns out there was a Dwayne that was shot and killed by a brother, and it was a family secret and nobody talked about it. So I knew I wasn't crazy. I knew that there was something to it. So it really impacted me, especially in business, because I thought, wow, our families are watching. We can't see them, but I think they're watching. So every time I'd have a tough conversation with an employee or anybody, I always went at it from the standpoint of their families are around them, loving them,
Wow.
caring for
Yeah.
them,
Yeah.
wanting what's in their best interest. So it really helped, inform me, whether I could see them or not. It helped that, hey, all of us have somebody, our families that love us and want the best for
Mhm.
us. And
Yeah. Wow, what an incredible experience. So you, from that and your doctor and being out of commission for a while, you had quite an epiphany, right?
yeah, so it really was quite a year, and you just look at. I guess I needed the time on my back to heal because I had to have several surgeries afterwards. But you really start looking at, wow, why am I here? So I was like, well, what's the most audacious thing I could do that I'm here that nobody else in the world can do? And that's really the purpose. That's where people can connect to that purpose, is to think, what am I uniquely anointed to do because of all of the stuff, right? All of it.
Right.
And what
Right.
is it that
Right.
only I can do? And I'm thinking, well, pests aren't sexy, but hey, they're a
Yeah.
problem. And then one thing led to the other, and
In your turning point, you have a great quote in your book. I love it. The universe was screaming at me. I had to do something. I was either going to go crazy or needed to start looking at things from a different angle. How profound is that? And I take it that's kind of what you did, right?
yeah. Yeah, basically, laying on your back, you're kind of forced to because there's something.
Yeah.
You're totally dependent. I lost, everything. We didn't have air conditioning. We had running water, but we had to hook a hose up to get it. And
Yeah.
it's it's just like really, really humbling. And then the question was, well, hey, what if the universe is doing this for me, not to
Hmm.
me? And it was just this shift when I went, okay, well, maybe it uniquely anoints me to do something that only I can do because of all of these, situations. But really it is. You're harvesting all of these experiences that you have, or seeds of life, rooting them into something that well, I call it love, rooting
Yeah.
them in love
Right.
and purpose, and they can grow and
Right.
turn into something amazing.
So, and you've got another quote that I love regarding all of this. When there is something you are complaining about or criticizing and condemning, there is something calling there. There is a calling you need to look at to find purpose. The
Mm.
pesky little mice just might be anointing my purpose, like you just said, right?
Yeah. And there's this thing, what you resist persists.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
anytime I find people criticize, condemn, or complain, there's something under the surface that begs to be looked at. Because oftentimes it speaks to their personality. Like if, say, for instance, somebody wants coffee's too hot, you know, maybe they
Yeah.
need to start a chain of only cold coffee, right? There's just something, if they find themselves complaining over and over about something, or something really irks you and gets under your skin, to me, that is like a prime opportunity for a business, because chances are other people have that same penchant.
Right, right. Yeah, and you say further on, when you're in a state of suffering, reframe how you see it. On the other side, there's some kind of freedom. Sometimes it's the universe screaming at you, making you uncomfortable. So you do something about your situation in your voice. And the voice you're hearing might be a quiet whisper or a booming echo, and it's called purpose. You should listen to it. How cool. I mean, so you've learned a lot about your purpose in life, purpose in life and purpose in business and just all the way around. And it came through, I hate to say it this way, but it came through suffering, right?
Yeah. Yes, it did. The people who have really suffered the most, if you look at the books they've written, the songs they've written, the great works of art they've created, the businesses they've created out of that suffering,
Hmm.
it's undeniable that it's an energy that can be harvested and transformed in the world. And I just happen to think, that's really what we do as humans. In some way, we're healing ourselves and healing those around us with what we do.